Everyone has a bright light inside of them that deserves to be seen by the world. That's why it's time to shine the light on the extraordinary who are accomplishing phenomenal things. This is the Shine Out Loud Show with Lillian Obogo.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are, and welcome to another episode of the Shine Out Loud Show with me, Lillian Obogo. Now, I have a young woman who has made it her mission to make sure entrepreneurs enjoy their journey of entrepreneurship by taking away the admin, the administration, the tech nightmares, the worries, and the strife so that you can show up as your best self in your business. I'm talking about the founder of VirtualKarette VA Services, Karette Trottman. Karette, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lillian, for having me. I'm super excited about the conversation that we're about to have. And I'm just really excited. Thank you so much for just giving me this opportunity to share with your audience and to get to know you a bit better. I'm looking forward to our chat.
Likewise, because I'm looking forward to understand how you took your business in the direction that you did, how you decided to give up a career in, I believe it was in the
NHS.
And give up stability to actually say the idea of stability and say, hey, I'm going to start this business. So let's kind of look at this, because what was the path that took you to say, yes, I'm going to start a VA service for entrepreneurs?
Okay. The first trigger was being burned out and stressed in my last role, to the point whereby I started experiencing anxiety attack. I started waking up, bursting out in tears at night at the thought of going into work. Let's just say I had a nightmare team that I had to manage. At the time, I was the administration manager for the psychodynamic psychotherapy service within the mental health hospital where I worked at the time. And there was just a lot of moving parts within the team. At the time, I had a team of 3 that I had to manage. And in addition to that, there was the strategy side of supporting the senior management of the department. And it just got to a stage whereby there was a lot of misalignment with me and those I was managing. There was a lot of jealousy and just deliberate, intentional difficulty on the part of those who I was supporting. And so eventually I was signed off work sick. And
wow.
Yeah, I was signed off work sick. And for 2 weeks, my GP said, you know what, you're actually suffering from stress, because I was complaining about all these different symptoms. And at the end of the 2 weeks, when it was time for me to go back, that's when I started waking up crying. And I didn't understand, Lillian, why I was crying. I'm thinking, correct, this is not normal. Come on, you go to bed and you wake up and you're crying. And then I realized that it was at the thought of going back to work after being off for that 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And even though my managers, they wanted me back because I had brought such change and transformation to the business, well, to the department and how it was structured and how it functioned, the change was great. The impact was felt. And so they wanted me back. But even they, in the end, said that they understood why I had to leave. And if they had to manage the team that I had, they probably wouldn't want to come back either.
Well, at least they recognized they recognized the problem wasn't you. Oh, God.
So, so when I left, I made the decision that I was going to leave, but I hadn't yet started my business or anything like that. And it was after I left that's when I decided that I was going to venture out and do my own thing. So as I was, I guess, a couple of weeks leading up to me leaving, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to start my own business, my own freelance PA business. I didn't know the term virtual assistant existed at the time, even though the industry has existed for over going on 3 decades now. I didn't know at the time. And so that was the plan. And after I left officially, I was able to really focus on what it is that I wanted to do.
So after you left, you found enough space in your vision to say, this is who I need to become. And I'm sure that the business has had different iterations of itself.
Absolutely. So much change has happened over the past, going on 3 years now. And I would say that the business that we are now, we're actually an agency now. So before it was just me on my own.
Right.
Now I have a team of 6. And so essentially what happens is that when somebody comes to us in need of a VA, they're assigned their own VA, and that person would be their go-to person. For me, the business being where it is now from where it started, with it just being me on my own, it's mind-blowing. It's like, Lillian, I know that I knew what I wanted for the business, what I saw it looking like, but I never knew it would happen so quickly. I didn't know it would happen so quickly, or that it would feel the way it does. And I'm really enjoying where I'm at now in this season.
That's actually powerful. That is very, very powerful when you actually find that you are in where you are meant to be. And I love the fact that you're honest. You said, listen, I was burnt out. I will wake up crying and I just couldn't do it. And so you talk about in an interview you did recently where you talk about entrepreneurship is a journey that needs to be enjoyed, not a destination. So let me ask you this. What are new business owners doing that are taking the fun out of that journey?
All their admin, the mundane day-to-day tasks, such as, scrolling through several emails in their inboxes when they could be serving their clients, for example, when they could be putting together reports or presentation or pitch decks in order to pitch to get an investment and things like that, when they could be forming new partnerships, when they could be developing their new offers. They're actually spending time worrying about the tech, worrying about the meetings that they think that they had forgotten that they should have put in their calendar. And now they're wondering whether or not they had put it in their calendar. Not being able to sleep peacefully at night because they're thinking about all that never-ending to-do list that they have, when a lot of the things on that list really can be done by somebody else, so that they can focus more on the strategy side of running their business.
I think, you know what, I'm going to be honest here and put my hand up and go, yeah, that's been me over there. I've done certain things. But, we're told when we start this entrepreneurship journey that you have to be the bottle washer.
The many hats.
Yeah, you have to wear many hats. It's the rite of passage, right? Unless we've been sold a lie.
For a time that is okay. But there has to come to a point where you're like, no, just one hat. And what's that hat? CEO, because that's what you are. You are the CEO for your biz, and that's the role that you should function in. That's the zone of genius that you should operate in, and everything else should be done by a network, a support, a team.
All right. So you've just answered the question which I was going to ask, which is, what should a business owner start looking to outsource? So I guess what I'm going to now phrase it as is, when we say, okay, we've come to the decision, I'm going to get a VA. What is the first thing that we should know as newbies to this whole, I'm going to get a VA? How do we delegate? How do we feel like, okay, I'm not just piling everything? What is the best way to start working with a VA?
I would say, and I say this often to new clients, have a think about the things that you would prefer not having to do in your business. So make a list. You can make a list of all the things you have to do. Then you start breaking that list apart to creating the things that only you can do, creating a list of the things that somebody else can do, and then creating a list of the things that you want to do. Right? And then let that be your guide as to, okay, these are the things that I'm going to outsource, and just bear in mind that, yes, there's going to be some commitment required on your part, because working with the VA is a collaborative effort. This person is coming into your business to take on your vision as their own. You need to support that process as a business owner so that you can get the best out of that individual.
Okay. So this is actually very key knowledge, because it's like you're still busy wearing the many hats, and then now I have to take on the other hat of being an employer to somebody else. I haven't finished employing myself. So
Okay, so the beauty of working with a VA is that, and I'm so happy that you raised that point, because there are many clients who they don't want to delegate. They don't feel as if they have the time, and it's true. They feel as if they don't have the time. One of the things that really sets, I would say, me and my team apart is the fact that we take a consultancy approach.
Right.
So it's not about you driving yourself insane trying to think about how you're going to onboard your VA. We actually make that journey a lot more easier for you.
Right.
You know, for example, you may not already have systems in place. We come in and we help you put systems in place to support you, to enable you to effectively help us to help you. I know that was a lot.
No, I got it. So you basically come with the systems and put them in place to help you, to help me, to help you to work better. See, I got
basically. It. Yeah. And essentially that's it, because this is the thing, you know, you have, as a business owner, we get caught up into our own minds, and it's like, okay, no, but only I can do this. Oh, this is going to take a long time for me to show this person how to do this. But most times we're overthinking things. A thing doesn't have to take long to show somebody how to do, you know, and that's one of the things that we do. We come in and we say, okay, we know that you need to hand things over to us. Okay, let us help you make that process a lot easier. You know, I would say that it's particularly more challenging for the business owner who, let's just say their back-end business process is a hot mess. So things are all over the place, and so they feel chaotic. And it's the reason why the idea of having to onboard somebody is like, oh my gosh, I can't, this is just too much.
I'm like, no, this is more work than is necessary. Don't want it. Okay, so we get it.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. So basically you help people either understand the process of, you will come in with a system and straight it out for them so it's easy, or those who are in a chaotic hot mess, you take away the chaos and make it an easier space for them to work in. Essentially.
Because this is the thing, a person or entrepreneur, a business owner who's looking to work with a VA, one of the fear they have is that VA probably won't really get them the way they want them to get them, right? But a really good VA will be able to basically eradicate that fear or the apprehension that you have, because they're an expert at what they do. And besides, if you're going to work with a VA, you want to work with an experienced VA. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, enough said. So now you said something in the beginning, how in the last 3 years you've gone from just being a virtual assistant business to an agency. So let me pretend I can speak. How difficult has it been to scale your business?
It's been a lot easier than I thought, actually. It's been a lot easier. Like Lillian, I remember my goal was to have my first team member, I guess, let's just say this year, right at the beginning. Oh, okay, I'm going to try and take on my first team member. I didn't think that halfway through the year I would have 6 people on my team. I didn't think that. And it was as simple as utilizing my network. You know, in a thriving network of other VAs and other similar sort of structured businesses. And I just thought, I have all the support that I need. And I essentially just drew on that.
Okay. So you said you touched on something, because there's that whole thing about a thriving network, and within your network, you had all the support that you needed. So here's the thing, and this is what I want to pull out, especially for entrepreneurs who look like you and I, women entrepreneurs. What's the advice that you tell them on actually actively creating networks?
You need to know that in creating a network that serves you, you have to be willing to put in the effort in nurturing those relationships. It can't be all about you being pursued. by individuals. You need to know that it's also, the onus is on you also to pursue the individuals who you want to build relationships with, right? So I would say essentially just not make it all about you. Doing things that pushes you out of your comfort zone. So that could be, accepting meeting invites, whereas you would otherwise decline because you just think, oh, I'm a bit too shy. Maybe you're, an introvert, you're very shy around people. Maybe you're afraid that, oh gosh, I won't know what to talk about, or I don't have to make up conversation, and all these different things, and you cringe at it because it's like, oh, do you know what? Let me just not. And then you just where you are, and it's like, look, you've missed an opportunity. So that would definitely be the two main advice I would give. Know that you have to pursue, you have to be intentional about building the relationships that you want, and you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone.
Okay, I like that. Be intentional, step out of your comfort zone, make sure that it's not about you, it's about building a relationship and growing that relationship with others so that you can have that thriving network. Because I think, and that's the thing, we sometimes talk about, oh, the old boys network or this and that. Instead of looking to fight it, it's going, what works there and what can we utilize in our businesses so that we have this solid network behind us? And I think that's very important.
And also, just to add on to that, you don't have to be everywhere. You don't need to be everywhere. Find a community. It could be 2 or 3. Really good, value-packed jam, community that you feel aligned with, and seek to nurture the relationships there.
So you don't have to be at every network event. You basically can find ones that speak to you, that gel with you, and go and grow. I like this.
Go and grow. I love it.
you can borrow that. You're welcome.
I love it.
All right. So you not only do the VA side of it in terms of the admin, you, like you said, you mentioned that you deal with systems and the tech, and we all know that sometimes tech is nightmarish, but you actually help small businesses with their CRM, and one of the things that you do is Dubsado. Now, for those who don't know, what is a CRM and why should a solopreneur have one? Because really, I have enough things on my plate trying to figure out my website, my funnel, my this, my that. Why do I need a CRM? Why?
Okay, so CRM basically stands for Customer Relationship Management, if you're not aware. And essentially, it's a platform or a tool that enables you to run your business in a more efficient way, especially when it comes to managing your client journey. It allows you to have all your clients or all your leads in one place. You are able to pull up reports if you want to assess the performance of your business. You can have all your contracts, all your forms. There is you're also able to introduce automation in how your business run. And essentially you're able to focus on other things while your business is running in the background. So a CRM for me is a lifesaver. Yes, you can continue doing things manually, but how long are you going to be running your business the old school way? So for example, storing all your client files in your documents folder on your computer, for example. Or
wait, why are you coming for me? What's wrong with you? No, don't come for my document
you
folder.
Can have that as a backup. You can have that as a backup, as I do, right? I have a folder for all our clients. However, they're all on our CRM because guess what? The CRM just provides that a more advanced overview of what's going on in the business. So it's perfect. And I think that, one of the reasons for a small business owner or, an entrepreneur who's just starting out, perhaps hesitating or not being keen on the idea of investing in a CRM, which isn't very expensive, by the way, is because they feel that they don't need one. Mm-hmm. They feel that, I haven't got enough clients in order to invest in a CRM. But a lot of these CRM, they allow you to have free trials, like Dubsado, for example. You can have up to 3 clients for free. But also, it's an opportunity for you to set yourself up for success. That's what you're doing when you have a CRM, right? Because you may not have one client now, but do you plan on staying that way?
Of
You
course
don't plan
not.
on staying that
No,
way.
nobody plans on that.
So you need to get yourself ready.
No, that's a
Yeah.
good point. That's a good point. And as I speak, I'm gonna just tell you, I do have a CRM.
Good.
I just need now to kind of put all the pieces together and turn it on.
Okay. Just press the on button. Beep.
I wish it was that simple because I now have to move things over, move calendars, and
What do you use? What is the CRM, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll tell you offline. Yeah.
All right.
So we're talking CRM, we're talking businesses, we're talking the fact that you've gone from a VA business to an agency. So where do you find the time to fit in event planning, wedding planning, all into that schedule? How do you make that happen?
Every CEO needs a CEO day. Okay. For me, my CEO day is on a Friday. So today's Thursday, girl, I'm at the end of my work week. I feel good. Today is my Friday. Okay. And so, yeah, you definitely need a CEO day. You need time that's specifically allocated for you to focus on the growth of your business and other things that you want to think about, that you want to focus and channel your energy in. So definitely putting that time aside, because remember, we all decide to start our own businesses because we want a certain lifestyle. Yes. We want a certain level of freedom and flexibility and joy in how we live our lives. And so, you know, for me, the way I see things is that if you've decided that you're going to tread this entrepreneurial path, you want to think about, okay, as I build, how am I building my business to support the lifestyle that I want? Mm-hmm. Those are questions you need to be asking yourself.
Okay. So I like that. And I like the fact that you have that CEO day, and I will be borrowing that line. But you have this business that's already at capacity, growing at capacity, providing VA services, and you now provide wedding planning and event planning as well. So I guess the question I'm asking is, how are you fitting all of that different sides of the business in together for it to flow?
Well, certain members of my team, they specialize in event planning. So that's actually their area of speciality. So that makes it so much easier for me, the fact that they're able to basically do a lot of the work on that side of things. Again, right. Strategy.
I like this. Okay. So with the wedding planning, and we all know, we've seen the Bridezilla shows and all of that good stuff, and we've heard all the horror stories. And I still remember back in the day when I had my own event planning service, and I remember a couple of weddings I did, and I swore never, ever, ever again. Only my own and nobody else's. What is the one thing that you wish every bride should know about the aspect of planning her wedding, so it's not a nightmare for all those around and also for her?
You need to seriously think about investing in a wedding coordinator. If you can't afford a wedding planner, because these days you can plan your wedding yourself. If you're an organized person, or again, your network, right? Draw upon your network, your surrounding family members. They can help you with the planning process, but you definitely need a coordinator to help you on that journey, to make sure that all the boxes are ticked, right? And that you're not missing anything. Because the thing is, there is so many moving parts. There's so many different things to think about. You don't want to put yourself in a position whereby the planning of your wedding becomes
a nightmare.
Sucks the joy out of you. You don't want that. And I've seen that. You don't want it to suck the joy out of you, because the thing is, everyone has an opinion in the planning of a wedding. And when I say everyone, I mean the family. The parents. Everyone seems to have an opinion all of a sudden. Are you putting money towards this wedding? That's even worse. When they're putting money towards the wedding, girl, that's when they feel entitled to state their point and to have it, taken into consideration.
You know what? I think the ones that put money, you're like, okay, you can talk. But there's ones that they don't put a dime and they want to come with 20 people to the wedding, and you're like,
this auntie, this uncle, this friend, this
like,
cousin.
I don't know any of these people. Why?
no.
Why are they coming?
It's like, who are you? But yeah, definitely to my brides out there, especially with the COVID restrictions lifting, and a lot of people have put their weddings on hold. I mean, even myself, even though I got married in 2019 with just my husband and our two witnesses, my actual wedding celebration is in February coming.
Oh.
Right. And with that, I'm so looking forward to it, to be able to celebrate with all my friends and my family. But for me, I had to hire a wedding coordinator because I know, as somebody who coordinates weddings and events, that there's just too much that goes into it. And I have other things to focus on, such as a business to run.
You know what? Yeah. I think this is sage advice. Get yourself a coordinator. If you can't afford the full wedding planner route, get yourself a coordinator, someone who will be your project manager, your backup, the one that will say no to your family, because the coordinator doesn't care. It's like, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, there's no space for this. Okay, thank you. We'll move on.
That is so true. Absolutely.
Like, oh, really? Yeah, no, there's an extra table, so I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. Okay, I'll
and when you have that guest who's trying to bypass, or a family member who's trying to bypass, the structure that you sort of put in place around the planning and your actual wedding day, you can be like, actually, can you speak to my coordinator, please?
Oh yeah,
they're coming to you.
The last wedding I did was that was basically my role, and they were like, oh yeah, I want to sit on that table. I'm like, based on the list here, you on the table over there, but my friend is there. I go, I know, I understand, but you don't want to make the bride and groom unhappy. Would you want them unhappy on their big day because you didn't get a seat that you wanted? Is that what you would like? Oh no, okay,
like, no. Love it. Oh my word, I love it. Yeah. Cool.
No, your table is over there. I'm sorry, I don't see. No. Okay, bye. Your job is to protect the bride and groom, and that's your job.
Essentially. So ladies, all of you looking forward to your upcoming wedding that you've postponed all these months, get yourself a coordinator.
Yep, they will have your back. So, Karette, I've loved having you on the show. And going through the growth of your business, going through the different changes, but also the advice that you're giving to business owners to being their, I don't want to say Gulf Rider, but basically their right hand to help them grow their business. So they go from solopreneur to CEO. One of the things that you talk about is mentoring. And right now you currently mentor young entrepreneurs. And so, which is actually a powerful thing to do. So my question is, who mentors you?
That is a good question. Okay. At the moment, I haven't got a direct mentor, but I have been on mentoring programs and groups, which I recently finished one actually a couple of months ago. But do I have someone who I'm paying to mentor me? No. However, there are so many resources out there by individuals who has so much value to give, so much wealth of knowledge and expertise that I choose to draw upon. But that being said, I would recommend everyone who is a business owner who's looking to scale to the next level of their business to invest in a business owner, because for me, that's my next step. To invest in a mentor.
Brilliant. Okay. So I like that answer. And I think, you're right. Everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs that extra help. So
because this is the thing. You only know so much, and you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And the whole point of a mentor coming in is that they are a fresh pair of eyes that is outside of your business, that can come with a more analytical point of view of what's going on in your business. You want to scale. And that's why sometimes as an entrepreneur, when you feel stuck, One of the reasons why you feel stuck is because you are the only person in your business. It's only your eyes that are on your business. So of course you're not going to, see that next income stream that you can actually launch outside of your current business, or see that opportunity that you can take in order to grow.
And that's very powerful advice. So yes, it's basically along the lines of you cannot solve a problem with the same headspace that got you into it in the first place. So we're looking at growing this business and in this journey as an entrepreneur. The one thing that's certain, we will all face setbacks. So how do you bounce back from setbacks?
I mean, we hear this a lot, but it's true. Remembering my why. Really. So, why did I decide 3 years ago to leave a stable job with a stable income, a salary that, paid me quite well, that allowed me to enjoy the nice things in life? Why did I leave that job? Because I wanted to be happy. I wanted to have work-life balance. I wanted to be able to spend time with my family. I wanted to be able to, invest my energy into the things that really matters to me without necessarily having someone to answer to. I wanted to be able to make an impact in the lives of those. Well, make an impact in a way that I know be felt and appreciated. Sometimes when you're in a bigger space, or you're just another number within an organization, that you contribute towards the bigger aspects of things, but sometimes you can't really feel the direct impact that you're making. For me, I wanted that. I wanted to experience that feeling. Like, Lillian, nothing brings me more joy than when a client of ours get to a certain place in their business. It could be that they've hit their first 5-figure month or 6-figure month, and they turn around and say, Karette, you've been instrumental, you've been pivotal in this whole process. Thank you.
I bet that's a good feeling.
It's like, yeah. And that's why, I use with our mission statement, like, as a business, helping entrepreneurs build a business empire and create a legacy that they're proud of. In order to do that, we have to journey with the people that we work with, the people that we support. And it's such a joy. It's a joy to see somebody else's vision come alive and knowing that you helped to make that happen. So the short answer is remembering your why.
I love your short answers, but I even love your longer answers better. So yes, that is a good answer. So we have come to that part of the show where we talk about the things that we want to celebrate, our so loud moment for the week. So what's your so loud moment? This is a person, a thing. What are you celebrating?
My sold out moment for the week. I took on a new team member.
Oh.
So basically my tech VA is expecting, she's having a baby. When I say expecting, so she and her hubby, they're having a baby, which I'm super happy for. But we've been planning her time off, her break. And for me, I've always felt that she's irreplaceable because she's just so great at what she does. But lo and behold, I found someone who I feel is able to fill her slot for the time that she's going to be off. So I would say that that's a moment to sort of celebrate, because when you've got somebody on a pedestal and you're like, oh my gosh, where am I going to find somebody who's going to be able to do the things that you do? And yeah, I found someone.
Awesome.
Rejoicing.
That is an awesome thing to celebrate. So we have looked at a couple of things. We've looked at your journey. We've looked at how you started, what made you start. We've looked at how you support others. So let me ask you this. Looking at your journey so far, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
I guess I would just say, Karette, you worry too much. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be okay. You know, all the things that you hope for and desire, you know, those that are for you will be yours. You know, just stop worrying. Essentially, I worried a lot as a teenager. You know, I had a lot of and obviously there are a lot of other things that contributed to that, but I really worried. I was just always anxious about the future, always worried about what my life was going to be like, what was going to happen to me, you know, things like that. And I would say that's what I would say to my 18-year-old self: stop worrying. Don't worry.
Well, that is a good message, because that worry brings the stress, and that stress brings other things, and that distracts and brings that burnout. And so since we talked about burnout at the very early onset, which is one of the reasons why you left your job and started on your journey, what are your current self-care practices?
Exercising in the morning. So I wake up at 7. I start work at 10. So I wake up at 7 and I give myself time to just meditate, pray, and then do my workout. And it gets me in the right frame of mind for the day. So exercising. Also going to bed at a reasonable time. Now, I know a reasonable time for everybody is different.
So what's a reasonable time for you? What's your reasonable time? For me,
a reasonable time is 10:30.
Okay. All right.
And that's only because I start work at 10 in the morning and I work from my home office. So, hey, I don't have to commute. And so I have more time on my hands. Aren't I lucky?
Yes.
So yeah, I would say go to bed on time, exercising, and just have moments where you're not engaging in any activity that's work related or that requires too much brain power. You know, it could be maybe watching a movie, listening to an audiobook, things like that, or even just catching up with a friend.
Yes. Okay. So I like these self-care practices, and especially the one where you're saying give yourself time to just decompress. And I think that's the most important one, because especially for those who run the business, have a day job, all doing it while working from home, taking care of kids, it's a lot. So having that space and bandwidth to just claim back some time is actually very good. How can people connect with you?
I would say the main way to connect with me at the moment is Instagram. As a business, we're currently going through a rebranding, so our website isn't up at the moment.
Okay.
It will be within the next few weeks. So if you wanted to check the website out, it's virtualkarette.com.
Okay.
You can check us out there, but in the interim, you can check us out on Instagram, which is at VirtualKarette.
Okay. So guys, at her on Instagram at VirtualKarette and connect with her. And also check out her website, even though it's down at the moment, but you can find out all. We'll put her links in the show page so that you can go to it, and also the link to her Instagram. Now, here's my last question for you. If you woke up tomorrow morning with everything gone, everything wiped away, what would you create?
What would I create? Wow. What a question. Everything. I've never had that question being asked to me before.
At least I like to be a first at something.
To say I would create the world. I would recreate my life in the way it is now. Everything that exists now. You know, okay. I don't think there is anything that I would have different from how it is right now in the season of life that I'm in right now, Lillian, because I'm learning so much and I'm so appreciative for where I'm at this stage in life.
Awesome. I love that. You know what? Thank you for that answer. That is actually, I think, one of the best answers I've gotten for that. So awesome. Thank you. Karette, it has been a pleasure having you on the show, even though you chose violence and you were talking about my things on documents folders on my laptop. But I won't hold that against you. It's been it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
It's been a joy.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of the work that you do. And I know some of the people you support, so I know that the work that you do is vital. So, guys, you know what to do. You like the show, give us a like, reach out to Karette. Hey, reach out, let us know who you want to hear on the show. And most importantly, give the show a like. Go to iTunes, do what you need to do on our socials. Let Karette know that you heard her on the show. So it's a wrap. You know where to find us. We're everywhere where you get your good podcast from. It's a wrap. That's me for this week. Bye.
You've been listening to The Shine Out Loud Show. If you want to connect with us or let us know what you thought of today's show, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Shine Out Show.